The first Hijrah to Abyssinia, or the migration to Ethiopia, was an episode in the early history of Islam. Islam is a monotheistic religion and one of the three Abrahamic religions, the other two being Judaism and Christianity. The term Islam means submission to God, and the central religious text of Islam is the Quran, which is the revealed word of God. The term Hijrah is a medieval Latin transliteration of an Arabic word meaning migration or departure. The Prophet Muhammad, who was an Arab living in Arabia, received the Quran orally from God through the Archangel Gabriel incrementally over a period of some 23 years, beginning when Muhammad was 40 years of age in 610 AD. The Quran is considered the final book in a series of books of which God is the author. The books include the Torah, revealed to the prophet Moses, the Psalms, revealed to the prophet David, the Gospel, revealed to the prophet Jesus, and the Quran, revealed to the prophet Muhammad. The Quran is sometimes known as the Final Testament. Within the religion of Islam, the name of God is Allah, and the adherents of Islam are called Muslims. Muslim means one who submits to the will of the one true God. Now, the Prophet Muhammad first began the spread of the religion in Arabia, which is located east of the continent of Africa in modern-day Saudi Arabia, in around 613 AD, and he was successful in gaining a significant following. His early followers would come to include both Arabs and Africans, as well as Persians, Romans, and Jews. The disciples or followers of Muhammad are also known as the Sahaba, which means the companions. Some of the Africans who were close to Prophet Muhammad included Washi ibn Harb, a warrior known as the Son of Ward, Ayman, a woman who looked after Muhammad as a child, Ayman ibn Ubayyad, and his brother Usama ibn Zayed, the military commander. Another African that was close to the Prophet was Bilal ibn Rabah, who was the first muezzin. A muezzin is the person who gives the call to prayer at a mosque. A mosque, also called masjid, is a place of worship for Muslims similar to a temple or church. The muezzin plays an important role in ensuring an accurate prayer schedule for the Muslim community, as Muslims pray 5 times per day. And so by 614 AD, Muhammad and his followers were under significant attack and persecution by other groups within the region, including followers of polytheism and also members of the powerful Quraysh tribe of Arabia. The first converts to Islam were also known as the Muhajirin. At this time in Eastern Africa, the Ethiopian kingdom of Aksum had already been firmly established, and until 570 AD also controlled the territory of southern Arabia in the region of modern-day Yemen. Ethiopia was also known as Abyssinia at the time. The Ethiopians were highly skilled merchants engaging in international trade with numerous nations, and their capital city was Aksum. The written language of the kingdom of Aksum was Ge'ez. Ethiopia was no stranger to international relations and diplomacy. Indeed, Ethiopia was central to an international trade network which encapsulated and extended between the country of India to the east and the continent of Asia to the Mediterranean, and Rome in the west and the continent of Europe. Along this route, utilizing a network of ships, goods such as ivory, emeralds, gold, salt, iron silks, and spices were bought and sold. The commodities of gold, salt, and iron were abundant in Ethiopia at the time and were exported directly into Arabia and were traded with Persian merchants. Persia was located in the region of modern-day Iran, and so as the oppression of the new Muslims within Arabian territory, specifically in the city of Mecca, continued and intensified, a new verse from the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in Surah An-Nahl, chapter 16, verse 42, which stated the following: As for those who have forsaken their homes for the sake of Allah after enduring persecution, we shall certainly grant them a good abode in this world, and surely the reward of the hereafter is much greater, if they could but know what an excellent end awaits. Soon after this, the Prophet Muhammad provided the following advice to his followers: If you were to go to Abyssinia, it would be better for you, for the king will not tolerate injustice, and it is a friendly country, until such time as Allah shall relieve you from your distress. At this time, the ruler of Ethiopia was King Arma, who was also known as Al-Najashi. The king of Ethiopia is also referred to as the Negus. The Ethiopians during this period were devoted Christians, a religion which had been introduced by the previous Ethiopian king Ezana, who came to power in 320 AD. King Arma of Ethiopia was well known to be strong and just, and his kingdom was prosperous, powerful, and peaceful. The biblical tradition in Ethiopia, however, has its beginning much further back in African history, with the Queen of Sheba, who ruled the region of Ethiopia before 1000 BC. The Queen of Sheba was also known as the Queen of the South, and is referenced in both the Old Testament Bible and the Quran. The Queen of Sheba, during her reign, traveled to the Jewish territory of Israel and entered into discussions with King Solomon, who was also a prophet and the son of the prophet King David. Upon learning more of the religion and belief systems of King Solomon, she introduced the religious practices to Ethiopia. Many of the early converts to Islam in Arabia were also Ethiopian, as was the case with Bilal ibn Rabah, the first muezzin of Islam. And so by 615 AD, under the command of Prophet Muhammad, a small group of Muslims, including Muhammad's own daughter, planned to leave Mecca in Arabia and travel to Ethiopia in Eastern Africa. It is understood that they first sent messages to the Africans in advance to request asylum. To the west of Mecca was the Red Sea. The Red Sea separates the continent of Africa from Arabia. And so, the Muslims traveled west by night so as to be undetected by their enemies towards the Red Sea, and eventually crossed it by boat. With regard to the migration, it is interesting to note that within the Quran, God provides the following verse in Surah 4, named The Women. Surah 4, verse 97 states the following: Indeed, those whom the angels take in death while wronging themselves, the angels will say, In what condition were you? They will say, We were oppressed in the land. The angels will say, Was not the earth of Allah spacious enough for you to immigrate therein? For those, their refuge is hell, and evil it is as a destination. As we shall see, the Muslims were greeted with open arms by the Africans.